Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your humble host, Crime Time, and today we're going to talk about the infamous serial killer, Herbert Mullin. And Herbert Mullin confessed to the 13 killings, and he was killed in prison. So, Herbert William Mullin, April 18, 1947 to August 18, 2022, was an American serial killer who killed 13 people in California in the early 1970s. He confessed to the killings, which he claimed prevented earthquakes in 1973 after a trial to determine whether he was insane or culpable. He was convicted of 2 murders in the first degree and 9 in the second degree, and sentenced to life imprisonment. As of 2021, he had been denied parole 8 times. And a terrible coincidence for the people of the greater Santa Cruz region. Mullin and Iman Kemper overlapped in the 1972-1973 murder sprees, adding confusion to the police investigations and ending with both being arrested within a few weeks of each other after the deaths of 21 people. So let's talk about early life, education, and mental health issues. Herbert William Mullin was born on April 18, 1947 in Salinas, California. His father was reportedly stern but not abusive. Not long before Herbert Mullin's 5th birthday, the family had moved to San Francisco. Mullin had numerous friends at school and was voted most likely to succeed when he was 16 by his classmates at San Antonio. When he was 16, by his classmates at San Lorenzo Valley High School, Mullin experienced difficulty in life at this time, largely due to paranoid schizophrenic disorder. Shortly after graduating from San Lorenzo Valley High School, one of Mullin's friends, Dean Richardson, was killed in a car accident in the summer after graduation in June of 1965, and Mullin was devastated. He built shrines to his friend in the room and became obsessed with reincarnation. In 1969, Mullin was admitted to Mendocino State Hospital. Over the next few years, he entered various mental hospitals and was discharged after spells of being no harm to himself or others. In total, Mullin had been committed to 5 mental hospitals. By the time Mullin was in his mid-20s, he had a diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia, which was accelerated by his usage of LSD and marijuana. Murder spree. By 1972, Mullin was 25 and had moved back in with his parents in Fountain, California in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Mullin's birthday, April 18, was the anniversary of the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, which he thought was very significant. Mullin believed that the Vietnam War had produced enough American deaths to forestall earthquakes as a blood scarfish to nature, but that with the war winding down by late 1972, from an American perspective, he would need to start killing people in order to have enough deaths to keep a calamitous earthquake away. It was for this reason he later said that his father thought telepathy had ordered him to take some lives. On October 13, 1972, Mullin smashed 55-year-old Bedouin writing White's head was a baseball bat when the transient looked at the engine of his 58 Chevy station wagon after Mullin had pretended to have car trouble put over propping the hood. White had offered to help fix his car in exchange for a ride. Mullin dragged White's body into the woods. His body was found the next day. Mullin later claims his victim looked like Jonah from the Bible and sent him tough, telepathic messages. He, hey man, pick me up and throw me over the boat. Kill me so that others will be saved. Mullin killed his next victim after his father directed him to kill the second victim as a sacrifice, and also to test the hypothesis that environment was being rapidly polluted, and an earthquake was nigh. The victim was a female hitchhiker named Mary Margaret Guilford, aged 24, whom he picked up on a highway. Mullin stabbed her through the chest while driving. He cut her abdomen open in order to examine them and dropped them on nearby branches so he could see them better. Her skeleton's body was only found after several months. On November 2nd, 1972, Mullin had doubts about the appropriateness of his father's instructions and went to see a Catholic priest in a confessional booth at St. Mary Catholic Church in Los Gatos. He recounted that the priest, Father Henry Tommy, who had been a member of the French resistance during World War II and a music director at the Archdiocese of Marseille, wanted to volunteer to be his next sacrifice. He opened the confidential box and hit, kicked, and stabbed Tommy, who lay bleeding to death in the confessional while a parishioner watched Mullin run away. The parishioner ran to get help, but the witness described of a tall and thin man did not help the investigation much. Mullin attempted to join the Marines around January 1973, looking for a way to conduct his mission legally, but refused to sign a copy of his criminal record, and the Marines withdrew their offer. By January of 1973, Mullin had stopped using drugs and blamed others for his problems. In early January 1973, Mullin drove to a remote area of cabins where he thought a former teammate who had first given him marijuana to smoke might call Kathy Francis. Francis said the man he wanted to see lived down the road. In Mullin's memory, she also insisted that she and her kids, David, age 9, and Damon, age 4, were like to volunteer to be blood sacrifices. He killed them all with a pistol. Mullin then knocked on the door of his teammate home. The teammate, who was unable to answer why he had ruined Mullin's life with an early toke of pops, and Mullin shot him. Dying, the man crawled to his bedroom and attempted to tell his wife to lock the bedroom door, but Mullin broke down the door and fairly shot her too. The police thought the deaths in both homes were drug-related and did not suspect they were in any way connected with the priest's death or the previous murders of hitchhikers. About a month later, on February 10th, 1973, Mullin was hiking in the state park in Santa Cruz, where he encountered four teenage boys: Robert Spector, age 18, Brian Scott Card, 19, David Ogre, 18, and Mark Gibralbis, 15, camping illegally. He walked over to them, engaging them in a brief conversation and claiming to be a park ranger. He told them to leave because they were, according to Mullin, polluting the forest. However, they shooed him away and stayed in a tent. The next day, Mullin returned and shot all four of them in the head with the .22, killing them. When Mullin had finished, he took the .22 rifle and $20. The next killing happened before the bodies of the previous victims were found later that week. It occurred at Mullin's was driving firewood in the station wagon. He noticed his victim, a 72-year-old retired prizefighter and fishmonger named Fred Abbey Perez, working in his garden in Santa Cruz. Mullin did a U-turn, came back down the street, stopped, put the rifle across the hood of the car, and shot him onto the heart. He committed this killing on foresight of the dead man's neighbor, who got Mullin's license plate. A few minutes after the description was broadcast on the police radio, a docile Mullin was ordered to pull over and arrested by a patrolman. In his car was a .22 pistol used to kill the people in the cabins. He did not attempt to use the recently fired .22 rifle on the seat next to him. The police suffered from lingering blindness at the time of Mullin's murders due to several factors. Firstly, the murders did not appear to be connected by a similar weapon or a modus operandi. Secondly, the victims differed from each other in terms of age, race, and sex. And finally, Edmond Kemper, who was killed the last of a victim just a few weeks later, was operating in approximately the same area at the same time. Mullin had committed his murder spree over 4 months. Trial and imprisonment. Santa Cruz County District Attorney's Office charged Mullin with 10 murders, and Mullin's trial opened on July 30th of 1973. Mullin had admitted to all the crimes, and therefore the trial focused on whether he was legally sane, which under U.S. law means that he understood the nature and quality of his actions and understood right from wrong. The fact that he had covered his track and shown premeditation in some of his crimes were highlighted by prosecutor Chris Carter, which the defense defendant Jim Jackson argued that Mullin's delusions made him kill. August 19, 1973, after 14 hours of deliberation, Mullin was found guilty of first-degree murder and the killings of Jim, Genera, and Kathy Francis because they were deemed premeditated, and 8 counts of second-degree murder and the other counts because they were considered impulse by the jury. Mullin was convicted of 10 murders at the age of 26. The Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office charged Mullin with the murders of Henry on December 11, 1973, the day his trial was to begin. He pleaded guilty to second-degree murder after originally pleading not guilty by reason of insanity to first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life imprisonment in the Santa Cruz County trial and was denied parole 8 times from 1980 on. He was incarcerated at Mule Creek State Prison in Lone, California. Mullin stated in custody that he had committed his crimes only in an attempt to save the environment. He was diagnosed by Dr. David Marlowe from the University of California at Santa Cruz with schizophrenic reaction paranoid type. Mullin had interactions with Armand Kemper, another serial killer active in the same area and at the same time as he was. The two shared adjoining cells at one point. Kemper disliked Mullin and believed he killed for no good reason. Kemper recalled, well, Mullin had a habit of sinking and bothering people when somebody tried to watch TV, so I threw water on him to shut him up. Then, when heard he liked peanuts, that was effective because pretty soon he asked permission to sing. That's called behavior modification treatment. Kemper would describe Mullin as having a lot of pain inside, he had a lot of anguish inside, he had a lot of hate inside, and was an address to people he didn't even know because he didn't do anything to the people he knew. In that same interview, Kemper called Mullin a kindred spirit due to the similar past of being institutionalized. Kemper said he made Kemper Kemper said he told Mullin, I know what happened. Don't give me that blur-ish about every earthquake. Don't give me that crap about God was telling you. I said you couldn't even be talking to me, not God talking to you because of pressure I'm putting on you right now. These little shocking insights and what you did. God will start talking to you and I offer you that kind of air because I feel people like that. On August 18th, his death. On August 18, 2022, Herbert Mullin died at the age of 75 from natural causes while housed at the California Healthcare Facility. His victim, Lawrence Brady White, was a male and 55 years old. Mary Margaret, female, 24 years old. Henry, male, 64 years old. Jim, male, 25 years old. Joan, female, 21 years old. Kathy, female, 29 years old. Damon, male, um, 4 years old. David, male, 9 years old. David, male, 18 years old. Robert, male, 18 years old. Brian, male, 19 years old. Mark, male, 15 years old. And Fred, who was a male, 72 years old. So this is Herbert Mullin. Now, the reason why Herbert Mullin supposedly killed 13 people is because he said that, and his belief is that people want to die, so he would not kill innocent people. And we're talking about 1972. This happened back in 1972. The 1970s. So yeah, 1970s. You know, back then you didn't have certain things that we have today. DNA. You didn't have computers back then. You didn't have certain things that can directly say that it was you. So, you know, I'm glad he was caught and charged and booked and convicted and doing life for what he did. You know, they say, you know, there's a saying, you going around committing heinous crimes, bad things can happen. And it did. You know, gotta be more vigilant and aware. Back then and today, especially when you go camping or you go in public or you don't know who's right there. You don't know who's behind you, who's, looking out to see where you at. You don't know anything. So, gotta be safe than sorry. Man was a heinous person. Um, can you imagine getting that phone call from the police or the detectives, or they come to your door? 13 people, 13 families are devastated by one mad man. You gotta remember, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening back then. A lot of scary stuff, you know. Serial killers walking the streets, preying on people, killing them, strangling them, stabbing them, shooting them. Um, to the 13 victims, may you continue resting in peace, and to the families of the 13 victims. It gets hard every day. It's not easy. Um, losing a loved one. Um, I was surprised that he wasn't sentenced to death for the 13 murders. Remember back then they didn't have the death penalty then? Back then, if they had the death penalty, I think you would have absolutely got a death penalty if they had a death penalty back then. But yeah, that is it for the story. Make sure you comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Please go over to my main channel, which is Save Our Children TV, and go over there and show me some love on our channel. Come back here and show me some love on this channel. Crime Time. I love doing what I do, speaking the truth, talking to you guys, giving you stories that you probably didn't heard of back then, and updates, and please make sure that you thumbs up all my videos, smash that thumbs up, smash that like, smash the comment section, that red subscribe button so you'll be notified every time I drop a new video, and turn the notification bell on. to get this video to 5K likes. It'd be an honor to get me to 5,000 likes in this video. Um, you know, I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Until Monday, I will see you guys soon. Peace.